In today's equity index futures markets, let's take a look at the S&P 500 future today as it realized some late day selling pressure. We did see the S&P 500 future fighting between negative and positive territory throughout the session, but then giving up ground late in the session and finishing down a little over 0.5% today and holding right around that 3,900 level, 3,905 currently on that June future. And I think when you look at some of the factors playing into why we're seeing the S&P futures now down 3 out of the last 4 trading sessions, again, I think there's concerns now as we move through this cycle post-expiration and also through the initiation of the stimulus, that now the market's really focused on the Fed and the speak coming out of not only the Fed, but also Treasury Secretary, as we had both them speaking on Capitol Hill today and identifying what their view is as far as moving forward, the economic structure. And the ability now that the Fed officials are out there in full force post Fed meeting last week to really start to talk about their views moving forward, I think are having a significant impact not only in the Treasury markets, but also in the equity markets, as you're seeing markets reacting to the prospect of potential shift in rate environment or shift in growth prospects. And I think, again, the COVID-19 storyline underneath the surface here is having an impact from a short-term perspective, as now with the new variant out there and some of the storylines coming out of Europe and things starting to pick up a little bit in certain states of the United States, we're seeing increased number of cases, is causing a little bit of hesitation on the optimism surrounding the reopening trade. Now, when you look at the S&P 500 futures, we did see them down. Today we saw all the major equity index futures markets lower on the session. The S&P 500 futures, again, holding right around that 3,900 level. But you look at the Russell futures, boy, they really had some significant selling pressure today, where we did see them down over 3% today. So again, some further strength in this rotation trade where the Russell futures had outperformed most of the major equity index futures markets this year is now coming back a little bit, as we're seeing a bit of a mean reversion here today with the S&P 500 futures down the least of all the 4 major equity index futures markets.